sort of live.
Sort of.
And welcome. Hear ye, hear ye. Here we are live on twitch.tv/ NYVGC. And welcome to the ILOS Podcast LLC and the New York Video Games Critics Circle Playing with Purpose charity streamathon. The New York Video Games Critics Circle is a nonprofit dedicated to uplifting underserved communities through the power of video games. Founded by Harold Goldberg, a New York Times video game critic and best-selling author, the Circle offers mentorship, free classes, scholarships, and career guidance to help young people break into the games industry. One of its flagship efforts is Playing with Purpose, a writing program that teaches journalism, storytelling, and critical thinking through video games, helping the next generation level up their skills, their voices, and their futures. Learn more about the organization at nygamecritics.com and donate today at bit.ly/PWP stream. That's bit.ly PWP stream. Donate now to help us reach our $10,000 goal. Each dollar keeps Playing with Purpose classes free for students and helps us partner with schools that lack funding for extracurricular and career building programs. Your support gives young people the chance to explore games, journalism, and storytelling, opening doors to futures they never thought possible. That's bit.ly PWP stream. And now I'm extremely excited about our special guest, so we're going to get right into it. I want to introduce a Lord who is not only an inspiration for us all in the world of sports, acting, and outstanding vocal performances, but at the tender age of 5, showed the world he had a dream and made gamers play Barrett with purpose in the iconic Final Fantasy VII series. Introducing the legendary voice of Barrett of Final Fantasy VII Remake, LeBron James in Multiverse, Rufus and Fire Emblem Warriors, and countless more performances. The Lord who made a man more than just a caricature and is always equipped with the gun arm and an avalanche of one-liners. Live from the NY Video Games Critics Circle and kind enough to make his debut into the realm of the Lords, my man, Lord John Eric Bentley, aka Barrett Wallace for Final Fantasy VII. How we doing, sir?
Oh man, I'm like, yo, man, you got me all pumped up over here, tears in my eyes. I'm like, oh yeah, we did do that. You got me all charged. I'm like, man, I feel like I'm about to come out the tunnel. Where my cleats at, coach? Where my cleats at?
You heard the Chicago music, right?
Right?
When you did that
Literally.
when he did the avalanche when I was like, I see what you did there, Carl.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
had to hit him. I had
That'll
to hit him
bring
with
that.
that, man.
Yeah.
Look, man, it's absolutely a pleasure to have you in the
I'm with a
realm, man.
gun armed, so I'm never unarmed, man. I just worked with that brother. I just
Oh, he
worked with
ready.
Meta last weekend, man, and what a blast. We got to finally sit down and chop it up. We had lunch together. I don't even know how we found time in the convention. That brother is outstanding. But
Oh, wow,
I want
yeah.
to go back to your intro for Game Awards, man. That's why I'm here.
Mm,
Everything you said. I came out to the Game Awards last year, and that's why I'm here. I got to see the kids. I got to see the teachers. I got to see the instructors. I got to see the folks behind everything. And bro, I told them right on the spot. I think we were on a no, we weren't even a break. We had just started, and I'm like, yo, how can I be a part of helping raise funds? And then I was starting to see what the administration was doing with taking out so many of the arts and what they were doing with education. I'm like, how can I be a part so that we can make sure that this is alive and well, for the years to come. So that's why I'm here, bro. You talking about thank you for sharing your time, bro. I was looking for a way. I was like double dutch. When can I jump in?
Where can I jump in?
When do I go? You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, this is
Absolutely.
an outstanding organization. So thank you all for having me. Seriously,
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Blessings.
Same thing. The Iron Lords are very honored to be part of the New York Video Games Critics Circle. And it's for moments like this. This is where giving back and, again, playing with purpose, doing the right thing for underserved communities. And yeah, man, we're looking forward to talking with you. Obviously, we got the
it's gonna
intros
be
out the way.
fun.
So, really quickly, I know you got a lot of things going on from a gaming standpoint. Have you got a chance to be playing anything besides prepping for roles of future trilogy games you might be doing?
It's funny you ask. I just I'm gonna ignore that latter part, but NDA. You'll hear me say a
Yeah,
lot,
NDA.
probably.
Oh, you're NDA
But
boy. Okay, that part.
no, I just got finished playing again. Ghost of Tsushima. That's like
Oh, okay.
my go-to when I need to breathe and just chill out. And
You
right
mean this
now
right
I'm
here? You mean
playing.
this?
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
that goes that
You,
just got. Okay.
listen, you
And the
talking
new
his
one's coming
language
out in
right now.
October,
Yeah.
yeah?
Dog about to
Yeah.
Oh,
hijack
you don't
the whole
understand.
conversation.
I'm about to hijack the whole podcast. We
Yeah,
brothers
yeah.
now.
We ain't gonna let him do that
Bro.
today. But go ahead.
Listen, it's something about that game, man. I can literally play that thing over and over and over
Tell the
again.
truth, Shave the Devil.
You
Tell the
know,
truth.
and it's beautiful. It's like a beautiful like game to play. I can't wait for the new one. I think October. When is it coming? October 20th?
Yeah, like-
October 2nd.
Yeah,
October
top
2nd.
October. Top
Yeah,
October.
yeah. I just put up the latest video on that. Let me ask you a question. Like, if you could have did a character, right? What character's on your bucket list? Because I got one that I think that you could have did that would have been really great. But what character's on your bucket list?
Okay, on the real tip,
Yeah.
if I answer the question, it's more like I'm just good to play whatever work I can get that I
Right.
can, glorify a character and just bring him to life. But I honestly would love to do, like, because I think a lot of the characters that I would want to play, I think the artists who did them just killed it, right?
Right.
I would love to do a Blade.
Ooh.
I would love to do a Black Panther.
Here we go. That's what I had in mind. But go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
love to do a listen, Kratos was done excellently. I mean,
Yes.
that brother, I couldn't touch him with a doggone 10-foot pole, telephone pole. Couldn't even pick up the pole. But those are characters that were iconic for me watching and growing up and everything. But so was Barrett, because that was my first RPG, and I'm like, yo, it's a black dude in it. And I played it. I'm like, he didn't die. Oh, this is on. This is great. So I got hooked on that early. Because it was in the 90s, man.
Yes,
Every time we did a
yes.
movie, we was in the movie. It's like, let me go and check that out for everyone.
First scene, we out.
We out. Maybe 15 minutes in the movie, we out. But no, I'm joking. But on the real, man, I don't really have characters that I think that I would want to do that haven't already been done with excellence. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And there's a lot of bros and that are out here that are just doing it right. You know what I mean? Denzel put out a statement the other day about actors getting jobs and performing because they have a bunch of tweets, or I'm misquoting it, but he basically was saying, people are getting jobs because they got followers as opposed to doing the work and putting the art in. I come from old school. I'm birthed out of Penumbra Theater and St. Paul, Minnesota. August Wilson, that's where he started his thing. Stage was my thing. So acting means something to me. Knowing how to read a line, knowing how to interpret, knowing how to be in an ensemble and share that scene. So all those things they mean something to me. I'm not a dial-in actor by any means. I can't do it that way. If it doesn't move the audience, if it's not rooted, if it doesn't have every element that I've studied, and still studying to put in it, then it's not work. And so putting in the work means something to me. So there's a lot of characters that are out there that I'm like, I could have done this, or I would have done this. But then you're talking about somebody who has an issue with, okay, man, I wish I would have had that line back while I'm playing the game. I would have done it with this tonation, or I would have changed the staccato to the legato, or you know what I mean? So I'm always trying to perfect my craft.
So you had a well-versed look with Barrett before you got the role, right? And when we first played it, I mean, because Cog and I first played it when it came out. That was our introduction to the PlayStation. We was super into the game, but it was a lot of other people's interpretation of what we would sound like, and though we were happy, we weren't super ecstatic. Then Attic and I and Cog got the remake, and we was like, oh my God, Barrett got layers. Barrett got a kid. Barrett showing heart. Barrett showing courage. Barrett is showing leadership. And your vocals, your interpretation of the character. I mean, where did that come from? Where did that gravitas of the character come from out of you?
It came from a whole lot of, honestly, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It came from a whole lot of weight, cause I knew I had the weight of the shoulders, the world on my shoulders. Um, I played the original, and to me, it was a great game, but they made him out to be a caricature, an angry black man. And anytime Barrett got upset, he shook, and then he's knocking Wedgie across doggone pinball machines, and it was great, but I'm like, that is not just who we are. Now, granted, we read the words, but we didn't hear the voice, right? So I'm like, how do I marry making this not a caricature, but a character, and something that I could create to make everybody love him? So the words that we got from the translation from the JP, I was like, okay, I got to make these words make sense, because the weight of the world's on my shoulders. With I need to represent my culture. I need to represent the fact that I'm a man. I need to represent the fact that this guy is not a character, not a caricature, but a character. I need to represent the fact that he's a father. He's a leader. He has emotions. Now, in the very opening scene, much like in the OG, you see him, hey, you better get down here, Merc. He's hardcore, like, yo, who is this dude? Who's Cloud? Who is this guy? You brought him on TV. He better be worth every gill, right? And then in the elevator scene, you see him big and going off. So that was the clip that everybody saw when we did remakes. So everybody was like, oh, and then you get to see all of a sudden he has somewhere to go to show you why he's that way, especially in Rebirth. So I just wanted to do him justice, man. You represent your culture, you represent your people, you represent your family, represent yourself. I didn't want him to be like a buffoon. I didn't want him to be like lot of people thought he was going to be, because they played the OG. I'm not saying that the OG made him a buffoon, but they sure did make him an angry black man. And I just wanted to
Mr. T with a gun.
Yeah, literally, like literally, and I didn't want to. And listen, all shout outs to Mr. T. That is a beautiful individual. That man is incredible. Like, I don't know if you've ever been around him, had a chance to interview him. He's a great dude, man of God, God fearing, a tender hearted guy. But he's playing a character, and at the time, that was the character that he was playing. I just didn't want Barrett to be a caricature.
Right.
Especially during our time. I mean, man, dude, we came out in 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah. The weight of the world was on everybody.
Right before the pandemic and all that other stuff was going on.
We had, we had George Floyd. It was a perfect storm. We had the pandemic. We had crazy administrations. We had crazy things happening, wars and rumors of wars. And, it's like, well, it came at a perfect time to do it right. So I'm like, all right, preparation is, opportunities here. So let's perfect this.
No, absolutely. No, well said. Well said. I want to back you up just a second in reference to, obviously, you said that you played the original, but we want to get you back to your video game system history. What kind of got you into video games a little bit, and what's some of those first systems, games that you started playing to get that passion?
Oh man, that's easy. That's so easy. I was the only child. Bottom line. Only child, and a latchkey kid. So
he's my buyer.
I was walking through Sears one day with my mom, because she was buying me some doggone what are them jeans called that you had to get patches for later?
Lee with the patches. Lee's with the patches.
Lee
jeans. Out the Lee jeans.
Yeah, because I wore them out, and I was a kid. I was wild. So I saw the Atari system. And I'm like, Mom, can I get that? And she's like, no, we don't have enough money for it. I was like, all right, next year. Mom, can I get that? And she said, no, we don't have any money for it. Then one day I woke up and it was there for my birthday. And I'm like, I got Atari. Should have never got me Atari. Because they did everything in their world to get me off that doggone thing. I was hooked on Atari. Space Invaders. Asteroid. Even the basketball joint. Centipede like a mug. I mean, and Adventure was my game. That was my jam. Adventure was my jam because my mom was a school teacher and she taught me to read at a very young age, right? So because of that, I read the Iliad and the Odyssey. I think I was maybe 8 or 9 by the time I read it, and reading Greek mythology all over the place. And I remember one day saying, "Hey, Mom, when's the next one? Can I get get the other book?" She's like, "Baby, that's it. You read everything." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Because I read a lot of comic books too.
Oh, you a king on his
Yo,
pocket right now.
you see all the statues behind
Yes.
me. Yes,
Oh,
sir.
listen, everything you got back there, that's from Sideshow, yeah?
Yeah. Oh
Oh, y'all
no.
brothers
Okay,
now.
so
It's
now these are XM Studios. I'm the king
On
of
the
XM.
farm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I definitely do have a bunch of sideshows around me though. But see, I love
okay.
that. See, now you talk about language because
that's
comic
just
books
one
and stuff.
side of his basement.
That's just one side. Yeah.
He's got
a
one
whole
part,
side.
one section of the museum.
It's not about me. It's about you though.
Hold on. So where are you? Are you on the East Coast too?
Yes. I'm
All right,
in
if
Mount
you get
Vernon.
out here, we need to figure out when you get out here because I got great friends at Sideshow. I go to Sideshow like maybe once every 2-3 months just so I can, be happy.
Oh,
It's
John,
one of my happy
John,
places.
don't do this to me.
It's over.
Oh no. You gotta let me know when you're out here.
Here
Yes,
lies King.
I'm here.
Yeah.
So because you're on the West Coast then, right?
Yes.
Because all right, so one year we were supposed to go through because I do King of the Statues. This is not about me. This is about him. We're gonna get over this really quickly.
No, we fanboys. It's all about us.
That's right. So check it out. I was supposed to go to Sideshow and do something. Pandemic.
And you
hit.
didn't?
Pandemic hit.
Oh, okay.
Destroyed everything. So
Now you gotta let me know.
You my only link back in, man.
You sound like Princess Leia. You're my only hope. You're my only hope, Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan, you my only hope.
Let me know, like, if you ever come out here, like, give me a heads up, and we'll figure out how to get over there. Because, man, I'm telling you, one of my sons is one of the biggest fanboys. I mean, he is me as a child. Well, he's a young man now, but I took him there. He's like, "Oh my God, can you take my boss? Oh my God, can you bring my?" That was just, I didn't realize how many people were fanboys. I'm like, yo, I'm a nerd at heart.
Yes.
So you asked me how I got it. We all distracted from the question. What was the question again?
The question was your video game system. You did Atari. And
I did Atari.
You was on a venture.
We got to get it a little more modern so Attic can relate because we owe and then Attic is a young buck for the crew.
Playing Shinobi. Like
I got him playing Arcade Shinobi. I got him
hooked on it, ain't you?
Yeah, talk to him.
I can't talk about it.
NDA.
You can talk about the demo, though.
Listen, Shinobi ain't no joke. But anyway, I'm gonna stop because I don't want you to break your NDA. I respect that. But no, I went from Atari to Intellivision to was it Neo Geo?
You had money. We pocket watching.
No.
You were doing
only
well
had
at that point.
Atari. I went to my friend's house to play all this other stuff.
Okay. So
they had money.
I went to King's house because he had Neo Geo. So I went to his house.
I had all that shit.
I had all his hand-me-down systems. When he was done with it, then I got it.
No. I went to friend's house to play a lot of this because I didn't have it. And like when Mom said she wasn't getting Atari back in the day because we didn't have money, we didn't have the money. My mom was a school teacher, which is another reason I love New York game. So my dad worked with his hands. He was a steel worker, and then he got laid off. So times were tough. I had the original, I think. D&D, I don't know if you remember the electronic board where you can move the pieces and it would make sounds and stuff like that. So yeah, man, that came many years later. When it came out, like after it came out. So I had a lot of systems. I didn't get like games until I got in college when I actually had a job and can get Nintendo, then Super Nintendo. And then PlayStation from that point on was it ruled the house. So my boys all grew up on the PS1. And then of course PS2, 3, 4, and now 5. And now these dudes are like, "Yo, Dad, I got my own PS5. We good." I'm like, okay. I mean, they're the ones who telling me, you don't have to buy the disc no more. I'm like, hey, I'm OG. I like to have it in my hand.
You want that physical? You want that
copy?
Yeah,
I need that physical copy in my hand.
I respect it. Real quick on the history, because again, you in that time pocket. I wanted to ask: were you a kid of the arcades at all? Was that part of your culture? Okay.
Oh, you don't understand. So I went to school on the west side in Chicago, and my mom would drop me, and she taught on the west side. So she would drop me off at school, and then she would go to her school. Well, my school moved, I think, in 7th grade, 6th or 7th grade, and it was a little further. So she dropped me off at the corner so I could make the walk to school. Well, she dropped me off in front of an arcade. The arcade was open in the morning before we went to school.
Yep,
'Cause they
that's
knew,
right. 7
they
o'clock.
knew.
That was a trap.
And so I would
Yes.
take 3 steps, look to see my mom make that right turn, and go right back to the arcade. So one morning I got too excited.
Mhm.
Truancy.
And one morning I got to school, maybe not always on time, but I got
Yeah.
to school. Because a lot of my other
Wh-
classmates was in there
wh-
too.
When
So
I
I
was
remember
a senior in high school, I got to the point where I was like, man, we can go in the second block. It's cool. Like, what's first block really going to teach us today?
man, we talking about 6th and 7th grade here. I wish it was like that, because you didn't really get in trouble for the 7th block.
Nah.
The 7th block is a long time, though, dog.
Yeah.
I don't know how you did. I don't know what your grades were. I had school. My mom was a school teacher, so I couldn't
Hey, I
mess up.
graduated for 3.0.
But oh, there you go. See, that's why
Yeah.
you doing what you're doing now with the wheels of steel, baby. But no, I remember going one day, man, and I was playing Tron, and I'm playing the doggone game, and I felt, and I'm like, hey, man, you put your quarters up, and all of a sudden, Eric, get out of here right now. I'm like,
Still.
it was my mom, dude.
Ice
And I'm
cold,
like,
heart drop.
you don't understand. That's a memory that I will never forget.
Wow.
That hand on my shoulder, heavy. And my mom wasn't like a big woman. That hand felt like a grown man. You know, and I'm like, whoa. And I felt so just distant. I was like, man, I let my mom down. Never went back to that arcade again. But man, I was an arcade dude. Listen, if Star Wars, the one where you play with the joystick where you can fight Darth Vader, was down the street right now, as soon as I finished talking, I'd be over there. Chuck E. Cheese was my friend when my boys was coming up. They're like, you want to go to Chuck E. Yep.
Yes.
And
you going for you, taking
I'm
them.
going for me. It was safe. I can see them wherever. I'm like, I'm going to be in this Star Wars booth for a minute. Y'all go ahead.
John B. slowly pushing them the whole week towards going to Chuck E. Cheese. So when they asked him, they thought it was for them, but it was really he pushed for it.
Literally, it was like, y'all want some pizza? I don't feel like making any today. I'm gonna take you somewhere special.
You know where we could go, right? They got all the pizza you can eat.
Literally, it was 5 minutes from the house. I had it down.
Oh man, these are great stories. Love that journey. Love the arcades, the consoles, all that stuff. So, did want to switch to voice acting in your path, and what would getting that gig and transitioning that. Obviously, I heard your story. It was really moving about your mom and telling you was at the age of 5 and to kind of read the Martin Luther King speech. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of set you on your path. So. Yeah, get you going there, and then how did that lead to your first big gig, and of course the iconic role of Barrett in Final Fantasy VII?
Well, voiceover happened in a weird way. So I was in college, and I was speech, English, and theater was my major, and then I went back for my master's in theater. But I remember I think it was my junior year or my senior. I can't remember when. It was my junior year, I think. And I used to go to the club with my teammates and my friends, my roommate, and we would go to Prince's Club. And Prince's Club Glam Slam in Minneapolis had an upstairs and a downstairs. And I would always go to upstairs because I become friends with Gilbert and his brother, the friends and whatever. And I would sit upstairs because, as crazy as it sounds, I'm very introverted. Like, I'm not. It feels like I'm out there all the time, but I love quiet. I love my quiet time. So I would go up there. My roommate was like, "You gonna go dance?" I'm like, "No, let me figure out who I want to dance with." So because I can look from up there. And so at one point, I was like, "Hey man, watch this. Watch what's about to happen." So this guy would go and talk to this girl and ask, "Hey, can I have your number?" And I would do the voices of the guy and the girl or whatever I saw happening. So it got to a point where Keswick was my roommate. He was like, "Man, that's hilarious." And then my other teammates were like, "Yo, that's hilarious." And then I turned around and, I noticed there was other folks watching it, and I was like, "Oh, my bad," And that's how I started doing voices. And I'll never forget my frat brother, Walter Bond, said, "Hey, you can make a living."
Okay.
Oh, he froze.
Oh, you froze a little bit?
Yeah.
Hopefully
He dropped out.
Okay, hopefully you get the connect. Oh, there you
You
go.
get him.
I see him back. I see him back.
Yeah.
We're gonna get that frat brother story. That was good.
Yeah, he sound like, I swear it's like a parallel.
Still.
Yeah, right? Because we was doing that, back in the days too.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to get your voice back in. As soon as we get your voice back in,
we got to hear this story. This story.
Yeah, we got to get that. Yeah, we got to get that. Yeah.
Yeah, that story.
Because remember, we used to do that with the karate movies.
Yes.
So
you used to do that. Bayou Ching.
Yeah. There you go. He's back.
There you go. He's back. You got to finish this story. This story. Good.
Yeah.
You got a lot of people like watching you and you seeing you do these voices.
Yeah, and I turned around, I was like, "Oh, all of a sudden, it was a friend of mine, Donald Royal, who used to play for the Timberwolves, who went on to play for Orlando Magic." He said,
Wait. You ain't just gonna glide. You ain't just gonna glide over. You was friends with Donald Royal. You talking about Orlando Magic, Petty Hardaway, Shaquille days when they was over there. Yeah, that boy. Oh yeah, I remember him.
Him and Sid Lowe. So it was just funny, man. That's how it happened. Then my frat brother was like, Walter Bond, he was like, "Yo, man, you can make a living doing this." He told me we were walking through the campus one day. I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I never thought about it. And then all of a sudden I go to grad school and someone says, "Hey, we want to give you the role in this cartoon." So my first cartoon was a live action thing where I was an artist and I created a dog named Rusty, and I had to interact with this dog named Rusty. And so that was the first time I was like, "Oh, this is what Walter was talking about. Oh, this is me doing, oh, I get it." And so I kind of got hooked on there, and all that, being an only child thing, making voices in the mirror, doing different voices when I was watching cartoons was a kid, turning it down and saying, "I can do that. I can do that. I can do that." Matching flaps, so to speak. Which you find out is part of anime. That's how it all started for me.
So, and would you do that when you was reading your comic books as well? Because that's what I would do it too.
I did, but man, I read so many comic books. I'm talking about Amalgam, Sandman, all kind of stuff. I read so. I would only do with characters that were drawn the way I like them. Right? So you would have like Neil Gaiman's Sandman, and then I would think he would speak like this because he was very alluring and he would invite you in. And then so I would do his voice with the the bubble words. Yeah. I would do his voice, and then you get some creature looking thing, and I read a lot of Conan the Barbarian, dog. And then I would do like the tribes, he would speak like this. And we would say, "Conan, you cannot," so I was doing all these accents that I thought I was hearing right, but back then I was like, I don't know if I'm doing the right Afrikaan or if I'm South African or, regional. And then I would do everything that sounded like this was always someone he fought. So I'm like, "Yo, man, let me do these sorcerers. I can do these sorcerers." So I just got pumped up, man, and started doing so. I mean, I would even do voices of animals. Like, you would see an elephant, and the elephant would come around and speak like this. And then doggone Jungle Book set me off. So I'm like, dang, you got Baloo, you got... So, I was like an only child, bro. Imagination was like, phew. I got a lot of voices up here.
That's what we had. That's what we had. Sitting there playing with our toys. My G.I. Joes talk, boy. I ain't gonna hold you.
Especially in Chicago in the winter. This is before Atari.
Real snow. The snow that used to come up to your stomach. That's right. You still got to go to school.
Exactly.
Ain't no days off there.
They plow the streets. You good to go? What?
What you mean it ain't closed?
Exactly.
Yeah, we never had days off.
What you mean I'm still going to school?
I'm still pro. We had a blizzard in '79. My mom bought me the shirt. I survived the blizzard of '79.
Yo, you know it's crazy when there's a shirt dedicated to a
There's a
snowstorm.
T-shirt. It literally is a white shirt with some red words. I survived the blizzard of '79. I'm like, okay.
Shirt, act like you gonna wear that shirt in the blizzard. It's like, why can't it be at least a long sleeve? You trying to make me freeze
Exactly.
too? Like,
Exactly.
No,
I wore it all summer. I'm like, I survived it.
That's right.
I love it. I love it. So we get that. You do these voices. You realize that, there could be a path for you. Now let's get to where, we are now as far as, obviously this iconic character, Barrett Wallace, gun arm, avalanche. The man could hear. Can't you hear the planet cloud? Can't you hear it?
I know you can.
I know you can hear it, right? Iconic elevator scene. I mean, we're introduced to you pretty early in this series, and obviously King and Attic. Attic is one of his favorite Final Fantasies. Obviously, I consider Final Fantasy VII the GOAT. I'm just gonna put that out there right now. I feel you're part of the GOAT franchise.
It's pretty special.
I want to add on to his question. I want to know like what you was doing when you got the call that you could potentially be Barrett. Like how you felt in that moment.
Talk to us.
First of all, I didn't know who it was because, they don't always tell you the project, the real name of the project, or the real character. You don't really know. So I got the call from Rita over at Skylark Sound. She's a doll. She's a sweetheart. She's the casting director, booth tech, everything. And she's like, hey, I got this role I want you to audition for. I think you'd be good for it. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And she sent it, and I did the audition. And then I started reading, because I read the script. I don't read the words, just the words I'm supposed to say. And I'm like, avalanche? Wait a minute.
No, was you a little bit of denial? Like, okay, maybe I'm reading too much into this because I want this. Like,
oh, you don't. I was in denial until they called me in, and I was like, wait a second. We got the call back. I said, baby, I told my wife, I said, baby, I think this is Barrett Wallace. She said, what? I said, I think this is Barrett Wallace from the video game I played back in the day when we got married. She's like, what? I was like, yeah, I think this is Barrett Wallace. She said, oh, okay.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
We got all these auditions. She's just like, go get it. I'm like, okay. So we did it, and I had like 5 different voices I was gonna do.
Okay.
And I literally went in and I did the audition, and it took a long time before we found out that we got it. But I remember doing the audition and going, okay, I got 5 different ways to do this. I can do it this way, this way, this way, this way. I can give you a sample of each one. They're like, oh, just narrowed it down to 2 or 3. I said, all right. So I did 2 or 3. And then the second one I did, I'm like, well, this is basically one of my uncles and one of my dear friends, William Horton, who I grew up with since 5 years old. So I'm going to put these voices together. And then on top of that, I'm going to put a little bit of John on there because you always got to put,
self.
And you always got to put you always got to relate to yourself with different characters, I think. And so I put those 3 layers in there, and that was the one that they chose, and the rest is history. But the wait was crazy. The wait was a long time. And Rita, I would always text, hey, Rita, do you know anyone? Have you heard anything? And then one day she called me. She's like, hey, listen, I know you've been calling, you've been asking all this stuff. You might want to sit down. And I'm like, oh, dang, we didn't get it. She's like, yeah, and she sounded like that too. Like,
she got you.
Might
good news.
She
That's
got me
the good
bad,
news.
dog.
Yeah.
She's like, you might want to sit down. I just want to let you know you got the role. And I'm like, what? Man, I can't even do it now because my throat hurts. What? Man, I just screamed. My wife said, what's wrong? She came in the room, what's wrong? I said, we got it. We got Barrett. We got Barrett. Oh, my God. My kids were like, man, what's wrong with you, Dad? I'm like, we got Barrett. Really? Because they understood the weight of it. So, and my wife was just like, you got a job. We get to eat. But I didn't know it was going to be this big. I didn't know it was going to be this big. And I remember Alex Main over at CooperCon, he said, yo, do you realize what this is about to be? I'm like, yeah, we got Barrett Wallace, man. I've been playing this since I was... No, he said, do you realize the fandom, how long this has been waiting? He broke it down. how
Yeah.
long this has been in the making,
Oh,
when this was announced.
Yeah.
Over, and this was in Europe. We were in London at the time, and he broke. No, we were in Canada at the time,
mhm.
and he broke it down. He said from here to the States to London to Portugal to. I'm like, what are you talking about? I didn't understand the bigness of
Oh,
it.
grown man
And
tears. I remember
oh
that
yeah,
reveal.
oh,
Hmm.
and so the grown man tears came after I went to my first convention, and I saw people applauding the fact that we got 7, which I was one of those dudes, right? And then they're like, "Yo, what you're doing is great." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." And accolades and all that stuff. I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, cool." Well, thank God for giving me this platform. But I didn't realize the platform would allow me to speak into people's lives, to speak joy, to speak happiness, to give a hug, to give a friendly gesture and a smile. I didn't realize that the calling for this was beyond me. It was to put me in a position to, especially because it came out of the pandemic, to let
Yeah.
people know, hey, it's okay to go on. Hey, it's gonna be all right. I've had so many people say that, hey, my brother he introduced me to this. He's no longer with us. My father passed, and you remind me of my father. I wasn't gonna commit suicide until I played the game. When I hear stuff like that, that's the part I didn't realize was gonna be, this mantle, right?
Hmm.
And I'm gladly taking it on because I'm like, if the Lord bless me with this, and I'm going to do everything I possibly can to represent Him in it.
Okay,
Absolutely.
And I love that it's just not like one game. It's over a
3, yeah,
nice, good 3. And
yeah,
I
that's
mean, and
cool.
and it's not. It came out this year. It came out the next year, and came out the next year, and it's done. No, 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 no. It's a
No,
nice, good run that is going to last and reverberate over generations of the consoles, from this generation to, I mean, the previous generation to this generation and the future generation that's going to
I
come
hope
out.
so.
So it's beautiful
I
stuff.
hope so. Yeah,
so
it's an honor.
I got 3 questions. You can answer these pretty quickly because I know we're running out of time. One,
Oh
what
shoot,
was your favorite line that you did? 2,
bruh.
what was the because when it comes to Final Fantasy, like I always felt like Barrett was one of the most outspoken ones. So you definitely got one of the characters that has a lot of dialogue. So I was kind of curious in terms of what was your favorite like line that you went into when you were like that line that the moment you got it, you knew like I'm gonna make this part me because that's a really famous part for Barrett in the game.
Yeah, that's the only 2 questions.
Yeah, what's the last one?
Oh, my third question was going to be on, just the scope and scale that that you, because like, for instance, you played the original Final Fantasy, and throughout these games that they've clearly expanded some of the dialogue on some of the characters. There's characters where they extended stuff that wasn't in the original game. I wanted to know how you felt being a fan of 7, seeing that they didn't just take because a lot of people are like, oh, I'm like, look, I'd rather we get 3 games where they expand every little thing and make and really flesh out character arcs. And I wanted to know your opinion on how they handled that because, like, one of the
That
biggest
was a
things.
great question.
Yeah, one of the biggest scenes I can remember is like the Aerith going back in remake, where that was not in the original game. You got to play as her going back to get Marlin, and that wasn't in the original game.
Stop! You no spoiler alerts. Some people haven't played.
Yeah, facts.
You getting funked up. I'm
Oh yeah,
sitting
he's
there
hyped.
watching
He's
like,
hyped.
go
He's
ahead,
ready.
go ahead.
Listen.
Please stop. I really wanted to say, stop. 'Cause I love
Yeah.
seeing when people get pumped up. Well, first of all, the first question, there's so many lines that I have that are just gems. But anytime I interact with Marlene is something that's just heartfelt. Uh, in the on the rebirth, my scenes with Dyne. But then there's scenes with me and Myrna that
Mm.
I didn't see coming because
Wow.
that wasn't, you know. And so anytime I get to do the heartfelt scenes, anytime I get to do the bantering with Cloud, with Red, now with Yuffie and Rebirth, um, those are all heartfelt scenes. So I got a lot of lines. When the plate falls,
Mm.
the scene with Dime, um, the stairs.
Yeah,
There's
on the
so many
stairs,
scenes,
walking up the
man.
stairs.
There's so many scenes. So there's so many lines are my favorite lines. Now as far as the development and what you were saying, there's so many levels and aspects as to okay, this is new, this is cool, but the well, I forgot the question how you worded it, so I want to make sure I answer it directly.
Yeah, it was just
The
pretty
third
much like
question.
where they're expanding on so much of the game and not just telling it word for word on the original
So
one.
this
How
is
did you
what I
feel
tell
about
people
that?
because so originally, like when they got the hints, everybody that got fandom got the hints. Oh, this is I can't believe they. What about the OG? They need to bring back the old actors. They got, and I was like, yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I get it. But it's called a remake.
That part.
Rebirth.
Make.
So why would you want just the OG all over again? Just prettier.
Be careful.
Why not expand?
That's a contentious subject for some. Some are very
Oh, I
sensitive
know.
towards that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know. A lot of people wanted the original. And I'm like, yeah, I'm down for the original. But we have a platform and an engine that allows you to have a whole world that you never had before. And now give you a whole new way of seeing it the way the artists wanted it back in the day. But they were confined for 3 discs and they didn't have the bandwidth or the space to do it. So now we got something. This is called a remake. It's not a copy of the original. So they made that. Square Enix made that decision, not us voice actors. Square Enix made that decision. We just got blessed to be a part of their decision to make a remake.
Something incredible.
Yeah.
So it's something new.
I got one question. Was it strict adherence to the lines? Or was there a ability to improv anything? And if there was an ability to improv anything, see, because I knew he's going to ask that question if you had any favorite lines. My thing would be, what would be your best improv line? Or something to you. Yeah, because I know John had to put his foot in it. So I want to know at what part did John put his foot in it, if he was allowed to put his foot in it, that part.
So when you go into a booth, you hear the Japanese voiceover reference.
Right.
You have a certain amount of time where you can say the translated English reference. So you have to say whatever you're going to say, whatever's written within that amount of time, right? And you have to figure it out on the spot because we don't get the scripts ahead of time. We go into a booth, 4-hour sessions, and you do your thing. No one's with us. We're in there individually. So I'm just giving you the history of it so you guys can understand how incredible this process is. I'm not in the booth with Cody. I'm not in the booth with Susie. I'm not in the booth with Breezy. I'm not in the booth with Britt. I'm not in the booth with anybody else. It's just individually going to the booth.
Yeah, quick question.
Right?
Is there ever any times that you do multiple people in one room, or is it always single air?
No.
Okay.
No. So it's kind of like I always equate it to the Bible. You got Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus. So you got all these different writers, not all, but you got several different writers of the New Testament and the Old Testament, but they put it together and it's like, oh my God, how did this happen? But you understand what I'm saying? So you have every individual and our director, our booth tech, we got Kurt, Justin, Bob. You got these few individuals put this thing together with a team that gets our edits, gets everything, and put it together as if we were all in the booth together. So that's the beauty of the creation of it. But as far as, me doing my thing, it's just like we don't have much time to, improv. The only improv they said was like, hey, John, you're on the elevator right now and it's going slow. We just need you to say something. And so it's like, another day, another trouble, climbing stairs, so we get to do that. Or, hey, John, you're running on these stairs. What would you say if I hate stairs, all these different things. So you only get certain things. And I think only certain characters get to do improv as far as, I know. So there's not much you get to do. It's just how you deliver it. Does that answer your question?
No, that definitely answered my question because I did not know the process in which y'all actually work. So this is all new to me. Yeah. Right. Because these guys actually follow voice actors and go through the whole process. And I just made sure my behind was here today. Right?
That's
I'm gonna let you know that.
That's real. No, I had a quick question in reference to, obviously this is an iconic franchise. You play an iconic character, but just recently, this franchise was exclusive to just one platform and now expanding to, the Xbox platform. And our audience was extremely happy to hear, finally, that they get a chance to play Final Fantasy VII and the remake. So, like, with this game finally reaching more audiences, PC, Xbox, things of that nature, like, does Barrett have anything to say to the Xbox community and other people that are getting a chance to play and see him for the first time on their platform?
That's because it's on PC now. I forgot. Play the game. You like it, and if you don't, I'll come looking for you. We might need some target practice for Avalanche. Not with my gun armor, you understand, but maybe with some materia thrown at you. So that's what I would say.
The Xbox community
I like
approves of
that.
this
I like
message.
Yes, we love this. This is beautiful, man. This is absolutely
The
beautiful.
controls play the damn game.
I love it. I know we get close to time, but back to the main event,
Oh.
and just like the reason, we're here, playing with purpose, New York Video Games Critics Circle, supporting young people through video games, journalism, and storytelling. Any of those listening to the stream, why should they get involved? Why should they contribute, Lord John?
Oh my gosh. Do you know what it does for the community of young minds who have so many creative ideas that can't come out? This is why. And this is another thing. I was sitting in the audience. I'm like, man, look at all this beauty. Look at all these people speaking and all these awards that are getting out. We keep doing all these doggone reboots of movies, and we keep doing and the same scripts and everything, and going, hey, we can do this, and we're going to make this Walt Disney movie live. And I'm not knocking any of that. I'm loving it. We're bringing some of these cartoons to life, but there's a lot of original ideas out there that aren't getting green lit because the people behind it don't think it can make money. Give it a chance, give it a try, because the young folks that I got to meet, man, they're creating stuff, and they shared some stuff with me in the lobby when we finished. I'm like, oh, that's a brilliant idea. But how do we get it greenlit? How do we support it? Well, by you donating, it helps them not just continue to do what they're doing, but continue to get in front of people to present these ideas to get them greenlit. Whatever they may be. There's so many different arts that were represented when I was there last year, and it blew me out of the water. The opportunity is not there, but all the creative juices are flowing. So that's why I would say donate, donate, donate. Whether it's your time, whether it's your finances, whatever it may be, whether it's job positions, please help these young folks continue to create so that we have a world that's not just going through with blinders and doing the same old, and we get something that's new and something that's creative. Who knows if you got the next biggest director walking next to you saying, hey man, if you could just donate $10 more, $100 more, $500 more, I can continue to create this content. That's what I would say,
Yeah,
man.
not
I
to
got to
mention,
watch them.
not to mention, like, we always need fresh new blood in any industry. Doesn't matter what it is. You always got
Always.
to circulate the, situations going on, because you don't want stuff to get stale too much, and then people. So that's kind of like, especially in gaming where we're at right now. Like, it's too comfortable making the easy money and not go out and try to make the unknown money.
Yes. Yes. Give it a chance. Try something creative. Try something different, man. And you got a lot of kids and a lot of young adults that are that answer, but they'll never have a chance if they don't have the finances behind them.
No, well
That's
said, well
right.
said. And we got that link in the stream again. We're just having little issues putting it in ourselves, but just for rate emphasis, that's bit.ly/PWP stream. That's bit.ly/PWP stream. Shout out to Be a Pig Man who put it up. And yeah, make sure you guys go hit that link and donate to a good cause, man. This is an absolute awesome experience. Final question that we ask all our guests in the realm of the Lord before we head out on this good cause.
I think I know the answer.
I think I know the answer, but
Yeah.
Lord John ain't ready. We got to see. So I need
No leading
Lord
the witness,
John's.
King. No leading the witness.
All right, I'm gonna try. I need Lord John's top 5 video games or franchises of all time. No particular order. What is important to you?
We already know Ghost of Tsushima. That's
Oh.
incredible.
That's my brother right there.
And then Uncharted was off the chain. Red Dead was incredible.
Love you.
Red Dead's incredible. What am I at, 3?
Yes,
at 3.
And then Last of Us, video game.
Let's go.
Unreal.
Okay.
What is the other one? I just got into Persona 5, all the Persona series.
Oh,
Attic loves you now.
One of us now.
Yeah.
For all of us.
Yeah. We here because Last of Us 2 is probably my greatest game of all time. So we here.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
I used to, and I still do, all of the God of Wars, all of them, from when Tony did them to the brother now that's just crushing it. Man, I can go on and on and on because I can go all the way back to what is the one where you're doing the wall run? Prince of Persia, the originals, the OGs.
Yeah.
OG. Man, there's so
Mine was saying the time. All right, so but what's your greatest console? What's your greatest console of all time?
Yeah,
this is it.
Wow, that's a tough one.
Yeah, because see, listen, you sound like a PlayStation guy all the way through, right?
Stop leading the witness.
And no, I'm not leading him. I know he's a PlayStation guy all the way through, but he did start on Atari, and he worked his way to Intellivision. I'm there with you two all the way, right? But
definitely.
Which one of your babies you love the most?
That's tough, man, because Nintendo put out some stuff. Like they had a Sammy Sosa baseball that I was softball that I was hooked on, bro. Like hooked. But they also had Bass and Black Bass. I'm hooked on that joint. I still got my doggone. My son built me a what do you call the thing? PSP.
The PSP.
And he got all these games on there, and a lot of the ones I play are all the Nintendo games, like Donkey Kong.
Kids,
Country.
man, you got to pick one of your kids, just one of them.
I mean, if I'm gonna sit down and play something, I'm gonna sit down and play my PlayStation. 4 games or 5. But if I'm on the road, I'm taking my PS. Well, I guess it's still PlayStation. I'm taking my PSP, but I'm playing a whole lot of Nintendo games on that joint.
All right. Well, we ain't gonna talk about the emulation, but we got there. we got it. So okay. So being that you travel a lot, I'll take the PSP for the win. I like that. That was definitely dope. I happen to have 3 of them myself, and I got a Vita upstairs, so I'm definitely down with that.
Yeah, we got to wrap, man.
Let's go.
Absolute pleasure. Lord John, Eric, Bentley, a.k.a. Barrett Wallace of Final Fantasy 7. Thank you so much for your time. Again, please donate to a good cause. It was an absolute pleasure to have you in the realm of the Lords. Salute.
Thank you. Thank y'all. Much love. Thank you for
soon in Sideshow.
No, we
yes, I'm still. When you come out, let me know.
I definitely will.
You can ask Cog. Like I've been very vocal about we need to get more voice actors on the show. Like,
Oh, absolutely, we'll do it.
You should. You should, man. Let me know if I can help with that too. I'll try to see who on the team can do it. I know Caleb Pierce would do it for sure. Paul Tento, who's the voice of Kate Sith, he would probably love to do it. He's doing a charity cause right now too. Are we off? I'm not taking time, right?
No.
No, we good. Yeah,
Did they take us off yet?
They took us off yet. Yeah, we muted now. Okay, now we muted.
All right.
We muted. Okay,
Cool.
we're good now.
Breezy, Brianna, I'm sure she would if she has time. She travels more than me. Susie, folks would love to do it. Man. William.
Like
I have no problem with that.
So much on like the studios, the directors, the people that make the game, but we don't focus as much as we should, like as content creators and podcasters, on the people that voice act the characters that we love. Because essentially, without your guys doing what you do, we couldn't emotionally connect with the characters. So.
No, I'm a snob. I'm an actual snob. So when it comes
to
guys,
I'm just going to move you into the stream waiting room so I can swap Adam in. But thank you so much. You guys did an awesome job. That was such a great interview.